Okay, so we've got some potential huge RPG news for Nintendo fans going forward, especially if you're a fan of the MiHoYo style of JRPGs out there. We've got a bunch of big news as well, talking about what Nintendo plans to do with their IPs, Hunter x Hunter, Bleach, so much good stuff to get into. But let's go ahead and jump right into the potential massive JRPG news for Nintendo fans in the future. So have you guys heard of the developer MiHoYo? Yeah, remember when Genshin Impact was supposed to come to Nintendo Switch? Okay, well maybe scratch that. No Nintendo Switch version, but potentially their biggest new hit here is Zenless Zone Zero. This is an action RPG that's taking over the free-to-play gotcha weird event type of thingies that people spend 500 billion hours in all the time. And from what I've seen, I haven't got a chance to check it out completely, just booted it up, and I'm not a huge fan of these just because of the style of game that it is, but I can say this: it plays buttery smooth on PlayStation, and this would definitely be a huge pickup for a Nintendo Switch 2 to play anywhere that you want. And it seems like that is a high possibility with Nintendo's next system, based off of what the producer for Zenless Zone Zero had to say in a recent Famitsu column. Now, once again, got to take this with not 100%, even though it sounds kind of likely here, because remember Genshin Impact, yeah, that was supposed to come to Nintendo Switch, so they don't always follow through with what they even put out. But let's see what Mr. Zenyu Lee had to say here in that Famitsu column. So he says, quote, "Currently, our highest priority is increasing the quality regarding the platforms that we plan to work with." So right now, it's just like PC, PlayStation, I think at this point, and I think mobile. As we continue the development process, we think we will find the possibilities for this. Of course, there is an assumption it will be made into an excellent experience, and as a personal fan of Nintendo, I will be very happy to see that become a reality. Now, that was in reference to Nintendo Switch 2 support, the Nintendo Switch 2, so just referencing it. Now, remember guys, we have gotten nothing from them when it comes to Genshin Impact, which was announced so many years ago, and nothing ever happened from that, and it was never officially canceled. But I do feel that Genshin Impact and Zenless Zone Zero could come over to the Nintendo Switch 2 at this point. I think a lot of developers are looking at that system and potentially going off of what Nintendo stated to other developers from what we saw with a game like Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and what they told Ubisoft, saying, hey, you know, hold off on Sparks of Hope, the second Mario plus Rabbids game, because we have this Nintendo Switch 2 thing and it could be great there. So if you're running into development problems, or you're running into certain things, or potentially, you know, have bigger sales or more of an impact, you can wait a bit. So that could be the case here. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think that these devs have as good of a rapport as Ubisoft has with Nintendo, considering they're using the Mario license with Mario plus Rabbids. But I do think there are a number of big Japanese style influence games or Asian style influence games here that are going to be on the Nintendo Switch 2, just because of what it's going to offer in terms of a power bump and the portability, native portability, that's going to be easier to use and just more of a mass market device than what you get with Steam Deck and all these other portable PCs that have Windows 11. That's just terrible for portable gaming and for dedicated gaming. These are not good. So I think that's why this is very interesting for MiHoYo and a lot of the other Asian style and Japanese games that are out there. So I'm excited about this. I think this is going to be good overall. I think that a game like this would be great just to have, because there are people who sink tons of time into these games. And yes, the gameplay is fantastic. It's the structure that stinks. Like when it comes to like the free-to-play structure, that stinks. But the gameplay itself in these games are really, really well done. AAA style type of games. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this. So we could have another big RPG when it comes to Eastern influenced RPG on the Nintendo Switch 2 that's coming, with a lot of other rumors. We're going to talk about another game, Metaphor ReFantazio. There's rumors about that, which is probably happening, and more games. So this is definitely a good sign heading into it which was a bit different from Nintendo's previous couple systems with the Wii U and with the Nintendo Switch, where there wasn't a lot of good signs heading into it for Eastern developed for JRPGs out there. It's a complete U-turn at this point from what we're hearing compared to what we saw the last couple generations. So absolutely exciting and good for RPG fans out there. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next thing with Nintendo. And for those that were thinking Nintendo's going to relax a little bit when it comes to them enforcing their IPs and potentially even suing people or entities that use their IP in ways that they don't like, well, you're wrong on that one. They're not relaxing on it, because Nintendo has doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on this, stating that yes, we will continue to take action over inappropriate use of their characters. Now, this was in a recent investors meeting. Shuntaro Furukawa has once again stated this, saying, quote, "Our company aims to achieve our management policy to bring smiles through entertainment by proposing unique games that anyone can intuitively enjoy. I will refrain from commenting on individual cases, but we believe that appropriate action must be taken against any behavior that undermines this policy. Our goal is to create an environment where everyone can enjoy playing games. We will continue to make every effort to ensure our consumers are not made to feel uncomfortable, not only in our games, but also anywhere they come in contact with our IP." So this is interesting because I think it is a double-edged sword. Obviously, you want to make sure that you protect your IP, right? Because if you don't, people can just use it for whatever they want, and they can start using it for things that you don't like. We've seen that over the course of the years. I'm not going to bring up some of the stuff that's came up and Nintendo's had to buy it up or do other things to shut that stuff down. But yeah, there's been some pretty nasty and nefarious things over the years. However, there's also things that are really good that come up, and Nintendo still takes that same thing. So fans say, oh man, that sucks because this looked really good, or they shut it down, or whatever the case is, right? And it's kind of one of those things, once again, it is a double-edged sword. Obviously, you want to shut down some things, but then you don't want to let other things go rampant to the point where people get comfortable being able to use their IP, potentially sell it, make money, things like that. So it is definitely a slippery slope overall. I understand on Nintendo's side in terms of them saying, hey, we're going to enforce this because if you don't, people will start using it and doing whatever they feel like. But then again, on the other side, it's like, man, some of this stuff, if they're just doing it as like a passion project and it's really not that big of a deal, sometimes Nintendo does come down on some of those things as well. Some stuff they leave alone completely, but other things they don't. So once again, it's kind of like a gray area all in between there. People start talking about it a lot. Nintendo will definitely take a look into it and shut it down if they feel like they need to. So that's going to continue into the Nintendo Switch 2 generation. That will not be changing at all. But let's go ahead and jump right into the next topic here with Hunter x Hunter Net Impact is not an arena fighter, and it adds one of the coolest villains of all time, in my opinion, and that's Crolio. He is awesome, the leader of the Phantom Troop. He is back, ready to go. And I'll say this, listen, this is not a graphical beast that you're gonna see with the Dragon Ball Z game or some of the other titles that are out there with anime games, but it looks like it has some of the best gameplay. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 anime style Hunter x Hunter. This looks like it's going to be an incredible playing game, a lot of fun to pick up and play, and then even harder to master overall if you really want to get the depths of the 3-on-3 combat. Now that Crolio is confirmed here, we're definitely going to have a lot of different combinations. Not every single character from the anime in there, but maybe if the game does well or if there's DLC plans, they'll add some more in there, but looks like they're going to slowly roll out more characters here. So Aiden is developing this one. For those who don't know who Aiden is, they did develop Marvel vs. Capcom 3 alongside Capcom, and they also made the Naruto Clash of Ninja games, and they've helped out with a variety of fighting games over the years. Aiden is one of the best unknown developers in the business, but they've been in business so long because they're very good at what they do. So Arc System Works, for those who don't know, they're also involved in this one, and Bushiroad Games are involved. So you've got a trio of fantastic publishers, developers, all of that kind of all mixed in here with these people. Now, he will be an aggressive type character with rich attack moves. With indoor fish swimming, he's able to attack both by himself or with his allies. He has great support capabilities and can rally the team to victory. Remember, Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact is dropping for PS5, Nintendo Switch, PC via Steam in 2024 by the end of the year, and I will be copying this game and playing it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I find myself hopefully as addicted as I was to Naruto Clash of Ninja or Gekito Ninja Taisen 4. That game was awesome. I loved it so much. So I would love to see myself have that type of connection with this game. It's been a while since I've really played an anime fighting game and been so wrapped up in it. Dragon Ball FighterZ I was for a bit, but there were some things that I was kind of like with that game. So I'm hoping Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact can be that anime fighting game that gets me as excited as I was with the Naruto Clash of Ninja series all of those years, or going on decades ago now at this point. So very cool there from Aiding, and I love what they're doing here. Like I said, it's looking a bit better and better every time we see the game. Now, moving to an actual arena fighter that graphically looks really good. It was announced recently, Bleach Rebirth of Souls. We've got a new Bleach game, the first actual new built for gamers or built for consoles, not mobile stuff. The first new Bleach game in like a decade or something like that. It's announced for PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, and PC. It's an arena fighter developed by Tam Sops. Now, there is no release date announced at this point, but I want to go over what this game is going to be about. They had a pretty cool announcement trailer as well, and it says, unleash your sword, awaken the blade within you, and reverse your fate in Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Engage in thrilling battles with powerful sword abilities and characters from this legendary anime franchise, one of the big three. Choose your favorite character and unleash their unique sword abilities. Take advantage of each character's unique abilities and command the flow of battle to find an opening that spells defeat for your enemies. In Bleach Rebirth of Souls, a single strike can spell defeat for you or your opponent. The more desperate the situation, the more powerful you become. Very interesting. Okay, I'm intrigued a bit more. Overturn the tide of battle and unlock new forms and new blades to bring victory from the edge of defeat. So this has me a bit interested. Now, listen, guys, I am not the biggest arena fighter guy. I've been playing them for decades now, and Bandai Namco continues to just factory line up these arena fighters. But it does seem like this game has quite a bit of development time put behind it, and it's going to have a little bit of a unique gimmick here where you can turn the tides of battle with one slash, or there's going to be something, a single strike that can spell defeat. Looks like they're going to add in some other things. It's going to be a bit more RPG action in the single player and things that you can do. So I'm hoping that it goes a bit above and beyond what we've seen recently from these arena fighters, because a lot of them have just been low quality. The My Hero games, that was a cash grab for the most part. And then you also had the Bandai Namco disaster of the JJK game, which was a complete cash grab scam that people found out very quickly and started refunding it. One of the most, I think it set a record for the most refunded game ever on Steam with 100,000 plus refunds. I mean, it's just been a disaster for them recently. If it ain't Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, it's been a disaster for Bandai Namco and arena fighters, even with super popular franchises like My Hero and JJK. So listen, I'm going to go into it with a little bit of an open mind, but I will say this. I'm a little worried, of course, of the arena fighter type of thing, but it looks like this one does have quite a bit of quality put into it. Graphically, it looks better than the JJK game, and the My Hero game easily looks better than those, even though this one seems to be more of a PS5 Xbox Series, even though there's a PS4 version of the game. So we'll see what happens here. It looks like there's going to be quite a number of different ways that you can customize your characters and fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. And to be honest, listen, we haven't had a big Bleach game in a long time. So if it's an arena fighter to get the fans in there and happy with something, at least that's better than them spamming us with Naruto games or spamming us with DBZ games every single year like they used to do. So I'll take Bleach Arena Fighter. I do love Bleach. I think it's a phenomenal anime. So we'll see how it works out overall. But cautiously optimistic, kinda, at this point. I'm just arena fighter out, overall. But we'll see what they do with this one to make it a little bit different. Now, Last story that we're going to go over, guys, is a brand new Metaphor ReFantazio trailer. It introduces the story, the setting, the characters, new companions, Nuris and Juna introduced as well. And this game just continues to shock and awe. This game continues to show that it has Game of the Year medal with it. Now, I've talked about this game multiple times in my top upcoming games. It was in my list for last year. It's been in my list for this year. I think I had another list where I'm looking forward to other games. It's number one pretty much in all of my lists. I think this game truly is an evolution of what Atlus has learned over the decades of making Persona and making SMT and making all different types of weird and quirky type of RPGs and putting it all in together in a big AAA JRPG that does a unique combat system here with the action to turn-based, in addition to having a cool premise of you ascending to the throne and gathering the support of the people and stopping a tyrant or someone who's done things in nefarious ways. And I think it's going to have a ton of twists and turns from this story trailer. I'm really loving what they're showing off. What they've shown from the combat is just excellent. I'm not watching all of the big Atlus exclusive showcases because it looks like they're showing too much of the game. But this story trailer is cool to watch, and it really sets up a lot more intrigue with this game. So I'm hooked. I'm ready. To me, this is my Game of the Year front runner at this point. I had a video where I talked about the best of 2024 that came out in the first half. SMT5 Vengeance has been right up there for me. Atlus is carrying when it comes down to it. And now we're going to have Metaphor ReFantazio at the end of the year. It's been a fantastic year for them, so I cannot wait to play this game. Story, gameplay, graphics, sound effects, combat, everything just looks like it's pure Atlus at its best, so I love it. So what are your thoughts on everything here, guys? When we talked about Zenless Zone Zero and Nintendo continuing when it comes to protecting the IP, Hunter x Hunter, Bleach, Metaphor ReFantazio. Man, this was packed. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch and RPG videos right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.